Have you ever felt a strange silence in the air, like the universe is holding its breath, waiting for you to decide something? Tonight is not just any night. Tonight, the full moon rises in Libra, and with it comes a sacred invitation. Not an invitation to look outside of yourself, but an invitation to turn inward, to listen, to remember who you truly are. This moment is not about astrology charts or planetary details. It's not about signs or predictions. It's about your soul, your inner compass, your alignment with what truly matters. There's a shift happening now, one that's soft, gentle, but deeply personal. And while it may not be loud, its presence is undeniable. The air feels heavier, but not in a painful way. In a way that makes you pause, breathe slower, and wonder, am I still who I was yesterday? This full moon doesn't demand from you. It offers you a choice, to let go of what no longer feels right, to loosen your grip on what you've been forcing, to create space for something new to grow within you. Because tonight is not about changing your outside world. It's about restoring your inner world, balancing what's been ignored, healing what's been pushed aside. The energy is reflective. It's soft, like a whisper in the dark. But don't mistake that softness for weakness. The truths it brings may shake you. You may feel things rising inside, emotions, memories, old patterns surfacing again. Not to punish you, but to show you what's been silently running the show. Tonight is your invitation to reset, to recalibrate, to remember that you don't need to carry everything you've picked up along the way. You're allowed to outgrow the version of yourself that kept everyone else comfortable, but kept you disconnected. So stay with me, because before tomorrow arrives, 5 deep cosmic truths are waiting to be revealed. Truths that don't come from the stars, but from within you. And once you hear them, once they settle into your heart, you may never see yourself the same way again. This is more than a full moon. This is a spiritual threshold. And you, dear soul, you are standing right at the edge of your rebirth. Let's step into the light together. Number 1, the weight you're carrying isn't yours anymore. Close your eyes. Take a slow breath in. Now slowly let it go. Can you feel that tightness in your chest? That invisible pressure that's been sitting there quietly for days, weeks, maybe even years. It's that same feeling that visits you at night, when the world goes quiet and your thoughts start getting louder. The voice that whispers, what if I had done it differently? Maybe I should have said something. Maybe I should have stayed or left. That loop, that weight, it isn't part of who you are anymore. But you've been carrying it like it still belongs to you. And it's been making you feel heavy, tired, unclear. Not because you're weak, but because you've been loyal to a version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore. Tonight, under this Libra full moon, a deep truth rises. To create real balance within, something must be released. Something that no longer fits. Something that once served a purpose, but now only keeps you stuck. Maybe it's a belief that you're not good enough. Maybe it's the memory of a moment you keep replaying, hoping the ending could change. Or maybe it's the expectation to keep being the strong one, even when your soul is tired of pretending. You don't have to solve everything right now. You don't have to untangle every knot. You are not being asked to heal every wound in one night. You're only being asked to put it down. That burden, that self-blame, that constant need to prove yourself. Set it down, even just for tonight. You've carried it long enough. This moonlight, it's not just shining above you, it's shining through you. Like a mirror held gently to your heart. It shows you what's still holding on, and what's silently begging to be let go. You don't need to feel guilty for walking away from the roles you've outgrown. You don't need to carry the pain that someone else handed you. You don't need to keep living a version of your life that doesn't bring you peace. This is your moment to choose. To say, This story is not mine anymore. To unclench your soul, to soften into freedom. The universe wants to bring you peace. It wants to clear the path. But it cannot pour new light into a cup that's already full. So empty the old. Let this moonlight take it from you. And trust that by releasing what isn't truly yours, you make space for everything that is. Number 2. Someone you keep holding on to is blocking your alignment. Let's speak a truth many people avoid. A truth that may feel uncomfortable but needs to be heard. There is someone in your life right now. Someone whose presence feels familiar, maybe even comforting. But deep down, their energy is quietly interfering with your growth. They may not speak harshly, they may not hurt you openly. But something about how they move through your life makes you feel like you have to shrink, just to keep things peaceful. You know this feeling. You sense it when you hold your tongue, when you hesitate to speak your truth, when you second-guess your needs, because you're afraid it might upset the balance between you. But here's the deeper truth. That's not balance. That's performance. The energy of Libra, this full moon energy, it doesn't ask you to pretend. It doesn't ask you to stay silent just to keep the peace. It asks you to be real. It asks for genuine harmony, not quiet tension. And this moonlight, it sees everything. It reveals what's been hidden under layers of politeness and fear. It shows you who stands beside you in truth, and who only stays close when you're easy to manage. Look closely. Watch how they respond when you stop bending, when you stop saying yes just to avoid conflict, when you begin to protect your energy, your needs, your healing. If someone's affection fades the moment you stop being quiet, if their connection to you depends on you being small, that is not love. That is not support. That is control, disguised as closeness. It isn't about blame. It's not about anger. It's about recognition. You deserve relationships where you can breathe freely, where your truth doesn't feel like a threat, where you don't have to edit yourself to be accepted. Tonight, under this honest, shining moon, you are being called to restore spiritual justice within yourself, not by fighting, not by proving anything, but simply by choosing your peace over their comfort. This is your path. This is your energy. And anyone who keeps pulling you off balance, no matter how close they are, doesn't belong at the center of your heart. Let them go, not with hate, but with clarity. Let them go so your spirit can stop performing and finally just be. You're not being unkind. You're being aligned. Number 3, your anger has a message. Listen before it turns to poison. This might come as a surprise to you, but one of the most unexpected truths this Libra full moon brings to light has nothing to do with other people, and everything to do with you. More specifically, your anger. Yes, anger. The emotion you've been trying to hide. The feeling you've been pushing away, burying beneath kindness, dismissing with positive thinking, or disguising with a forced smile. You've been taught to avoid it. You've been told it's wrong, that it's not spiritual to feel this way, that it makes you look ungrateful, bitter, or dramatic. But here's the truth you need to hear tonight. Your anger is not a problem. It is not poison. It is not shameful. When it's understood, your anger is sacred. It's your soul's alarm system. It's the voice inside you saying, "This isn't fair. This doesn't feel right. I deserve better." You've been suppressing it for so long, telling yourself to stay calm, to stay soft, to stay quiet. But your silence has come at a cost. That fire inside you, it wasn't meant to destroy. It was meant to guide. It was meant to light the way toward truth. The Libra moon carries the spirit of balance and inner justice. Not justice based on revenge or punishment, but justice that begins within. It asks you to be honest, to ask yourself, what have I been tolerating just to avoid discomfort? What boundaries have I allowed to be crossed again and again? What truth have I been avoiding because I didn't want to seem ungrateful? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary ones. Because every time you ignore your anger, every time you tell yourself to let it go without truly listening to it, you pour a little more poison into your own energy. Not because you're toxic, but because you've denied yourself the right to feel honestly. Tonight, you are being asked to stop apologizing for what you feel. You are being asked to sit with your anger, gently, quietly, and ask it what it's trying to teach you. Maybe it's telling you to finally speak up. Maybe it's asking you to walk away. Maybe it's simply reminding you that you matter too. Let your anger become a light, not a wildfire that consumes, but a soft flame that clarifies what's real. It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to explode. It just needs to be acknowledged. You are allowed to feel. You are allowed to protect yourself. You are allowed to reclaim the parts of you that have been silenced in the name of being nice. Because true peace doesn't come from pretending. It comes from honesty. And tonight, the moon is giving you permission to be honest with yourself. Let the fire rise. Let it speak. Let it clear the way. Number 4. Tears are a form of alignment. If emotions begin to rise tonight, don't fight them. Don't question them. Don't tell yourself to stop. Let them come. Let them move through you like waves reaching the shore. Because this Libra full moon isn't just about finding balance in your thoughts. It's about finding balance in your heart. Your emotions are not wrong. They are not too much. They are not something to hide. They are messengers. Gentle, sacred messengers, carrying stories your mind may have forgotten, but your soul still remembers. You may cry tonight, and you may not even know exactly why. But that's okay. You don't need to explain it to anyone. You don't need a clear reason to feel what you feel. Sometimes the tears are not about this moment. They're about moments you never had time to process. They're about chapters you had to rush through. They're about the silent battles you fought alone. Each tear holds something you've been carrying, a memory, a wound, a part of you that has been waiting to be released. And every time a tear falls, it's like your body is saying, you don't have to keep being strong in a way that breaks you. You don't have to carry this in silence anymore. You are allowed to feel. This moon, it doesn't just shine light on your path. It shines light on your inner world, on the feelings you've put aside because there was no space, no time, or no one who could truly understand. But tonight, the moon understands, the universe understands, and you are safe to feel. Don't apologize for the tears. Don't rush to wipe them away. Let them fall. Let them soften the hardened places. Let them remind you that you are alive, that your heart is still open, that you still care. Because in a world that often tells us to stay numb, to keep going, to stay strong, no matter what, softness becomes a form of courage. To cry is not a weakness. To cry is a realignment, a cleansing, a sacred release. Let your tears speak for the parts of you that don't have words yet. Let them wash away what you no longer need to carry. Let them reconnect you with the truth of your spirit. And tonight, under this moon, let your softness be your superpower. Not because it makes you fragile, but because it brings you back to what's real. Number 5. Your soul is quietly rewriting the future. Here is the most powerful truth of all. A truth that doesn't shout, but whispers gently to your spirit. This full moon, it's not just about what is ending. It's about what is beginning. Silently, quietly, without fanfare. Right now, without you needing to force anything, something deep within you is shifting. You may not be able to see it. You may not fully understand it. But your soul is moving. Your path is being adjusted. Your future is being rewritten. Not with chaos, not with pressure, but with a sacred kind of order that only the universe understands. In the background of your life, beyond all the thinking and planning and worrying, a realignment is happening. Your higher path, the one that truly matches who you're becoming, is finding its way to you. And you don't need to chase it. You don't need to know every step. You don't need to have it all figured out. You only need to listen. To slow down long enough to notice the small nudges, the quiet urges to rest, the sudden desire to spend more time alone, the feeling that something familiar no longer fits. The knowing that you are meant for more. Even if you can't explain why, trust the pull to disconnect for a while. It's okay to turn down the noise, to unplug from the things that no longer inspire you, to stop forcing conversations that don't feel alive anymore. This is not you giving up. This is you returning to your truth. Maybe you feel called to write something down, to start journaling again, to capture thoughts that have been floating in your heart for too long. That's not random. That's alignment. Maybe you've been feeling tired earlier than usual. Not just physical tiredness, but a deep soul-tired feeling, as if your spirit needs rest more than your body does. Honor that. Go to sleep earlier. Give your inner world the silence it needs to speak clearly. And maybe, just maybe, there's a truth in you that has been begging to be released. A truth you've swallowed too many times. A truth you've been scared to speak because you didn't want to hurt anyone. But tonight, the invitation is to free it. Let your voice meet your honesty. Let your words be the key that unlocks your next chapter. Because this is divine timing in action. This is not random. This is not punishment. This is preparation. The universe is not pushing you away from comfort to make you suffer. It's guiding you towards something real, something that matches your new vibration. And even though it feels unclear now, you are not lost. You are simply in the middle of a reset, a quiet rebirth. And when the dust settles, you will see just how perfectly everything is falling into place. So exhale. Your soul knows the way, even if your mind doesn't. Let go of the need to understand it all right now, and just say yes to the quiet shift that is already in motion. Tonight's full moon in Libra is not loud. It doesn't demand your attention. It doesn't push its way into your life. It simply glows, softly, steadily, like a gentle presence that's been here all along, just waiting for you to notice it. It asks for nothing but your awareness. It waits patiently for you to pause, to breathe, to turn inward and listen. This is not a moment for noise. This is a moment for stillness. Because some of the most powerful changes in life, the ones that shift your entire path, don't come with thunder. They arrive in silence. A small realization, a deep breath, a choice to release what no longer fits, a quiet decision to move forward without guilt, without fear. So tonight, let yourself let go. Let yourself begin again. Not by doing more, but by becoming more aware of what's already changing inside of you. Restore what has been lost in the chaos. Reclaim the softness you had to hide to survive. Remember who you are beneath all the expectations, all the noise, and above all, listen. Listen to the silence between your thoughts, to the pull in your chest, to the voice that has always been with you, even when you forgot it was there. Because something inside you is awakening. Something sacred is unfolding. And though you may not see the full picture yet, your spirit feels it. If this message touched you, if something inside you was moved even slightly, then let the universe know you're ready. Hit subscribe and keep walking this path of soul-aligned light with me. Remember this, the moon may be full tonight, but it's you who is finally becoming whole. Stay radiant, stay present, and trust. You are exactly where you're meant to be.